Well everyone, it's that time of year again, the time where Netflix gathers the most eligible singles in the entire world.
I'm Nick Lachey, and you guys are some of the most desirable singles in the world.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
And puts them all together to see who is the perfect match. Like for example, have you ever wondered what it would be like if someone from Love is Blind matched up with someone from Temptation Island? Me neither, but you know, I'm here for the mess. So who are some of these people that Nick Lachey has touted as the most desirable singles in the world? Well, some you might recognize from Love is Blind.
I want a partnership like Fitz and Olivia in Scandal. It's like my soulmate, minus the mistress part of it all.
And others you might not recognize from Love is Blind.
I'm shooting my shot with every single girl that walks up. Uncle Jim is coming. I don't know if I should be calling myself Uncle Jim.
Oh yeah, that is Jimmy from Love is Blind. You know, this guy.
I don't even know if it's MGK's wife or his girlfriend.
Megan Fox? You're saying you look like Megan Fox?
So apparently Jimmy's been living his best influencer life, and that has involved this whole change in look. Anyway, he's here to make a splash, and this time, he brought his EpiPen. Now to start this season off, our OG perfect matchers include Allie from Vanderpump Rules, Allison from Building the Band, a bunch of people from Temptation Island, someone from Squid Game The Challenge, of course more people from Too Hot to Handle, Chris from the recent season of Age of Attraction, and also this guy, Nick.
I'm gonna use my charisma, my blue eyes, my small cock. We're gonna be fine.
Wow, how charming. So the idea here is to match up with someone and then compete against all the other couples, and if you win challenges, you gain the power to bring in new people and try to sabotage your competitors and break them up. Then at the end, everyone votes on who they think is the strongest couple, aka the perfect match, and they're the winners. But for right now, we just need to get these people matched up. So host Nick Lachey starts us off with a little icebreaker game. Everyone gets to pick 2 cards, and these cards represent the person that they want to explore something with. And then when Nick invites that person up, anyone who has picked that person's card has to reveal themselves and pick a thing that they want to do with that person. And then that person gets to pick between the people who are interested in them and do the thing that that person wanted to do. And right away, Marissa here, she takes one look at Damari from Too Hot to Handle and goes, mine. So when Damari is up, Marissa comes forward and places her card on the wild card spot, which ends up being the action Whisper to Me. And Damari is interested. These two kinda hit it off when they first walked in and said hi to each other, so he says, whisper away, Marissa, whisper away.
Go to Mari!
They then full-on make out, which, hey, come on, Nick, step in here. Unless you count this as her whispering her tongue into his mouth, this has to be against some of the rules here. Come on.
I do get butterflies with Damari. My body leaks or leaps. Well, it definitely leaks, I'm telling you that.
Now the hot ticket during this game is Chris from Age of Attraction, who has garnered interest from Natalie from Temptation Island, Allison, Mackenzie, and Allie. However, Allie is not too impressed when he doesn't pick her, so she's turning to her other pick, none other than Uncle Jimmy. And so the name of the game at this point, with all that done, is to just match up for the night. No one's going home yet, we're just establishing couples. So yes, Allie has made it clear that she's interested in Jimmy. Well, Jimmy is also interested in Natalie, and Nick over here is thinking, oh boy, Uncle Jimmy with Natalie? I gotta swoop in here and rescue her, but...
I don't want to interrupt. You guys vibing, or...?
Yeah, I think.
Are
you vibing?
Yeah. I was gonna grab you
shot
for a
clock.
chat, but if you guys are vibing, no problem. Like, all good.
Jimmy!
Yeah, Natalie, she doesn't seem to want saving. And I don't know, maybe Jimmy is giving off vibes that he's actually here for a relationship or something? Either way, he has got some interested parties. So, after the first day, Chris ends up matching with Mackenzie. Marissa and Damari match real quick as Damari's not interested in being murdered tonight.
I was like, there's no way. Like, there's no way. Damari's mine.
Allison matches with Yaman from Temptation Island. Then Nick and Natalie end up matching, leaving our final match for the night as Jimmy with Allie. Or now all the couples get to spend their first night alone together, and some are getting cozy, others like Nick and Natalie are getting really, really cozy, excuse me? And then there's Jimmy and Allie. Anyway, the next day we get our first compatibility challenge, where the couple that wins this plugging holes in the shower challenge is somehow deemed the most compatible there, and those two end up being Marissa and Damari. Their reward? Well, first off, there's a special date for them, but then they'll get to decide on the new singles that get to enter the villa. And in this boardroom, they can decide to do it however they want. They can bring people in specifically targeting someone from a couple that they think is competition, or they could bring someone in for a person who's not happy with their current match. Heck, they could even bring someone in for themselves, but Marissa doesn't like the idea of that.
Ooh, 2 days in, already got you jealous.
Okay, calm down. I'm actually not that jealous. I'm just more like, don't touch him.
That's jealousy.
Now, the twist, I guess, for the season is that instead of picking someone new to immediately go on a date with someone else, the winners of the challenge will be picking 3 new singles, and that's it. They don't get to decide who those singles go on a date with. The new singles will just arrive and get to decide who they want to go on the date with themselves. So this time, they can choose between 2 men and 2 women. One of whom just happens to be Damari's ex, which has Marissa's mind activated like...
Mine.
So yeah, that's not happening. Then these two return to the villa to announce who's coming in. This time we've got Dave here from Married at First Sight Australia. Then there's Kayla, where production adds this lovely caption to her entrance, "Penis Flytrap." How nice. And you might recognize Kayla from her season of Too Hot to Handle, well, except for one difference.
I got a new pair of tits.
Oh,
We upgraded to a double D bag.
Oh, and when Kayla comes in, Chris over here is going, Mackenzie who? As he is now absolutely gaga over Kayla.
Wow, Kayla's a beauty. She's glimmering with a presence that can't even explain in words.
I got a new pair of tits.
Then finally, we have this guy, who's just an influencer. I don't know, I guess they ran out of names willing to come on the show this season, or maybe this guy's buddies with one of the producers or something.
Back in the day, they used to call me Mr. TYB, so it's Mr. Take Your Bitch, but we'll say TYG, Mr. Take Your Girl. Respectfully.
Ah, charming. Oh, and how could I forget? This guy's name also just happens to be Jimmy. So right away, Jimmy 1 starts going...
We can't do 2 Jimmys, you know. Jimbo, James, whatever you want to call him. He's not Jimmy. I'm the only Jimmy that's staying in this house.
But then Jimmy 2 storms in and meets Jimmy 1, and Jimmy 1 is like, oh, my name is Jimmy as well. Isn't that crazy? And Jimmy 2 bursts out,
My name's also Jimmy.
Jimbo, what up, baby?
I'm not leaving.
and now Jimmy 1 is going to have to be Jimbo from here on out. So yeah, the new singles start mingling, and Kayla's first pick just happens to be Chris. So that whole thing starts happening, leaving Mackenzie now having to diversify her options, and so she starts talking to Dave. And by the way, Dave is making moves. He comes in and is super into Allie, and he kisses her. Sorry, Jimbo. Then Dave goes over and kisses Natalie as well. Sorry, Allie. So yeah, now Allie's having to go back to good old Jimbo if she's wanting to lock something down. But hey, you know, it's going well. Look, they're already talking about kids.
And if you love sports, that's great. You can do that, but not the football one, because they'll get a concussion and there's a disease that O.J. Simpson I think had, and they can only test it when you die.
CTE.
Yeah, you do know what I mean.
I played high school ball, and I'm not.
Oh my God, do you think you have it?
So Jimmy 2 decides to go on a date with Allison. Dave then moves on past Allie and Natalie and goes for Mackenzie for his date, while Kayla, of course, picks Chris. And that date goes really well. Chris is definitely all in on Kayla now. Well, for Mackenzie, it's the complete opposite with Dave. It's just awkward. So she is kind of hoping Chris's date has been a failure, but nope. This man is coming back to the villa saying stuff like,
I feel like I haven't had this guy in a long time, you know? So the fact that it's here.
You said that last night.
Actually.
oh, yeah, he said the exact same thing about Mackenzie. Still, this now leaves Mackenzie stuck clinging to Dave, because anyone not matched up by the end of the night is going home. However, this is pretty tough because, well, this is Dave's banter.
Do you ever think about that somewhere right now there's a random elephant just somewhere?
Sometimes.
It's just an elephant just doing its thing somewhere.
Anyway, these two match, Chris and Kayla match, and even though Jimbo has been moody and pouting all day after Allie kissed Dave, these two match as well. Oh, and then there's Yaman and Natalie, who were for a while just friends, but, you know, these two, just friends, on this show, you know where this is going. They're gonna hook up.
That's physics. It's inevitable.
So yes, Yaman shoots his shot and he scores, so they're now a match. Then Jimmy too matches with Allison, who he originally was trying to avoid because she's the same type that he always goes for, but, you know, trying to avoid your type on this show and ending up with them anyway.
That's physics. It's inevitable.
Anyway, this leaves Nick alone, so he's kicked out, but hey, you know, he had his fun. And we can now move on to more challenges, like this one where you're asked true or false questions about your partner, like...
Chris, at the age of 18, hooked up with a 48-year-old reality star.
False.
False.
Yeah.
Okay, Kayla, the dude just came off a show called Age of Attraction. Let's get our heads in the game, people.
Why are you hooking up with all these old women?
Well, that was...
You did it recently, too.
And yet again, Damari and Marissa win, leading them to another boardroom, and they once more get to pick new singles to arrive, but here they can decide to choose to bring 3 or just 2. However, while that is happening, Nick Lachey emerges from the shadows to declare that everyone must vote on the 2 people that they think are the least genuine, and those 2 people have to go, which ends up being Kayla for the women, and for the men, it's a tie between Chris and Jimbo. I guess cause Jimbo keeps talking to Natalie every chance he gets, even though he's with Allie. So the tiebreaker is decided by Marissa and Damari when they return, and they end up booting Chris out of the house. So that's it for Chris and Kayla. There's no secret twist here, they're just gone. Bye-bye. Anyway, we now have 3 more women joining the show, and once again, Damari's ex is one of the options to come in, but she's left back at whatever hotel production set up for her. And instead, Damari and Marissa bring in Cassie from Love Island.
I'm here to fall in love, but I'm really horny, like 24/7.
Such a high skill.
And there's also Catherine from Too Hot to Handle, who is friends with Damari, and Sophie, who you might remember from Love is Blind UK. Now, Jimbo gets on really well with both Cassie and Sophie, and there's this potential crack in his relationship with Allie, as Dave reveals that he's still interested in Allie and always has been. So now with that, and Jimbo talking to 2 other women, Allie is wondering what to do because...
I know that Jimmy activates my 9th house, and the 9th house is all about, like, growth and spirituality, but Dave makes really good smoothies.
Then there's also a crack growing with Marissa and Damari, as Marissa thinks Damari was a little too excited to see Catherine walking in.
He was so ecstatic. Like, at one point I was like, do you want to date her?
What's going on?
I'm just like annoyed. I don't want to cry because I feel like I'm just being so, I don't like the feeling that I'm feeling.
I'm allowed to be possessive.
Well, Damari is taken aback, and he's going, well, okay, you say you're allowed to be possessive, but what would happen if it were the other way around?
Would you like if I was possessive over this situation if it was the other way around?
I'm not.
Damn, I can't ask you a question?
The playing dumb part bothers me.
So for the dates, Catherine decides to bring Jimmy too, as they were having a lot of fun chatting. Then Cassie picks Jimbo, which annoys Sophie as she was also going to pick Jimbo, so she now has to go with her next choice, Dave, who she laughed a bunch with, but she doesn't think it's serious, and she calls him a bit of a red flag. Which has Allie left thinking, shit, both my options right now are on dates with new women.
When this episode's playing, it's gonna be like me sitting here, then it's showing them just like literally making out with their girls, like, who's Allie?
I guess the joke's on me.
And so we come back from these dates for one more elimination. Jimbo has had a great date with Cassie, and he's saying stuff like if this date had happened in the real world, he'd be really wanting a second date. While Dave is going, he likes Allie, but Allie's not picked him this whole time, so that's a risk. Meanwhile, it's also a risk with Sophie because she's new and also called him a red flag, but he has to go with his gut, and he had a lot of fun with Sophie. So while those two match, Jimbo pulls Allie for one last chat, and Allie comes in like,
I want you to cuddle me. Because you're sweet and perfect and sweet. And I don't want to be open anymore. So think about that.
Which actually catches Jimbo off guard. And it kinda seemed, to me at least, like he was about to dump Allie, but then hearing this, he pauses for a bit and she goes, "What do you want? Is it Cassie?"
Chill out, you know what I want.
Me? Wait,
Of course
really?
I want you, yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Anyway, this leaves Cassie kind of shocked, as she thought Jimmy had been implying he was going to pick her, and Catherine is also pissed when Jimmy 2 goes back to Allison for his match. Oh, and also Mackenzie is eliminated. She hasn't been with anyone like this whole episode, so her leaving is like...
That's physics. It's inevitable.
However, Catherine does make one last stab at matching with none other than Damari. And well, after chatting with Catherine, Damari then goes to Marissa to assure her and tell her all the reasons why Marissa makes him feel great. But this just makes Marissa sink, and she goes,
Another guy where, of course, he likes me because I make him feel good.
leaving Damari going,
What the hell just happened?
Because Damari is thinking, isn't this something you would imagine your partner would want to hear? He's confused.
Was that shady?
Yes, it was actually pretty shady. I actually think that was shady.
What the hell is happening right now?
So Marissa says, well, that reminds her a lot of what people have said about her in the past, liking her for the things she does for them and not for who she is as a person. And Damari, he looks dazed.
I have ADHD, I have rejection sensitivity dysphoria. It's very common to feel rejection on a more sensitive level that is not even there. Like, it's not there. Like, you're not rejecting me, but in that moment, it felt like that.
So Damari says, well, okay, this is upsetting and it's kind of ruined the matching moment, but let's match, I guess.
You can't promise that. I'm not going to...
No, please don't be mad at me because I can't handle it right now. I think I'm very sensitive.
And so this officially means Mackenzie, Cassie, and Catherine are eliminated, as Marissa and Damari go back to their room for more of what they were already just doing.
Please don't be mad at me. I can't handle it. I can't.
And all of this has Damari thinking Marissa is in a heavy self-sabotage mode. Now, on the other side of the perfect match spectrum are Allie and Jimbo. They've seemingly committed to each other, leaving Allie going...
Stop. Please don't.
We're not gonna have sex, are we?
Okay, I did not have watching Jimmy from Love is Blind secretly doing the deed on camera on my 2026 bingo card, but it's there and I wish it wasn't. Is there someone we could sue at Netflix? So at this point, it's unbelievably only 4 days until they pick the perfect match. And Nick comes in to announce that it's the time in every season where they split the couples up to go and hang out with the singles that either didn't make it on the show or have already been eliminated. And I don't know why Jimbo does this, but he shoots himself in the foot here by telling Allie...
You can, do your thing.
Wait, we are? No rules?
No rules?
Jimmy is pissing me off.
I mean, what? Are you trying not to come off as too clingy or something? What's the deal here? And Allie is weirded out, but then the ladies leave and the guys are going...
The boys are going out. The boys are going out. The boys are going out. When the ladies are away, the fellas, we gon' play.
Weird. But turns out there's going to be a lot more playing on the other side of things. As yes, Damari does meet his ex finally, but she says things didn't end on great terms, so there's nothing going on for the moment. However, over with the women, Allie is ticked off at Jimbo, so she's going, alright, I'll do my thing. Maybe even with Hashim here from Temptation Island. Oh, and there's also this guy Weston from Love Island that is hitting it off with a lot of people, including Marissa. And when they decide to play Truth or Dare, the only one who is refusing to dare is Allison, as her and Jimbo have decided to commit. But Marissa, she gets dared this.
Marissa, I dare you to make out with any guy that you would match with if Dee went home.
Oh. So she's wondering, do I have fun, or do I go with my head? And well...
Do it. Listen.
Come on. Oof, I'm sure after this and her recent fight with Damari is going to end up taking this very well. But hey, it's perfect match, and stupid decisions on this show.
That's physics. It's inevitable.
Perfect Match Season 4 has returned with 2 more episodes where if you want to see a man from Carolina fumble big time, you don't need to go to a Panthers game, you can see it right here on Perfect Match with Jimmy from Love is Blind.
So I'll make the decision for you and just leave the house.
Bye. Like, best of luck for you. Best of luck.
Oh shit, what is going on?
Oh, and there are quite a few more fumbles along the way from some other couples as well. So where things left off after the last 5 episodes, all of our established matches so far had been split up to go mingle with the singles of the season. Oh, and if you haven't seen it, be sure to check out my last video to get caught up. Now, historically, on this Casa Amor style twist that they have every season, it's the guys who are getting a little too comfortable and having a little too much fun with the single ladies. But this season, that's flipped, as every time the single women say, oh, let's play some games, let's play Truth or Dare, or spin the bottle, the men are going,
Stay back! Stay back! Spin the bottle.
Ooh, let's do it. What, you guys don't want to play? You guys act like you're married.
Meanwhile, the matched women, they're a completely different vibe. Okay, there are exceptions like Natalie and Allison here.
Guess the last time that I shampooed my hair.
I don't really want to.
But the rest are letting loose. I mean, Allie is all over Hashim after Jimbo foolishly tried to play it cool and say they could explore things with other people instead of, you know, locking it down. There's Marissa, who made out with Weston here, and now she's thinking about what Damari will think once word gets back to him, so she's going,
I've made a huge mistake.
And Sophie here has no allegiance to her match Dave, but in her defense she basically just matched with him. Plus, she's looking for a man who can take care of her financially as well as emotionally, and Chris here?
Like, I know if I don't want to, I never have to work again. You know what I mean?
Chris is very charming.
Oh, and speaking of Chris, well, his former match Kayla is back as one of the singles and is over with the other matched up guys. However, she is still thinking about Chris. So this could be an opportunity.
This is a game of romance and strategy. To be fully honest, I wish Chris was here.
So Kayla starts moving in on Damari, who's not really having a great time right now. He's constantly been in an argument with Marissa, and then his ex Bree shows up, and things apparently did not end well. Like, this is what she has to say about him.
You know what? He's a good man, though.
No.
No.
So, when Kayla comes in, all smiles, saying, oh, you were so focused on Marissa right away, and I was so focused on Chris, we never really gave this a chance, it has Damari feeling quite relieved. But okay, after everyone has their fun with the singles, they all then return to the villa, and it doesn't take long for word to get back to Jimmy and Damari about what went down with their current matches.
There was kissing involved. Some guy named Weston and I kissed.
What?
During a game. He kissed me.
Okay, just to be clear, he didn't kiss you, you made the decision to kiss him. Meanwhile, Allie full on expected Jimmy to have done something with someone considering he wanted to be open, but when he says no, she's going,
What? Really?
No.
Cause she was kissing Hashim a ton.
How many times?
I don't know.
Damn.
Anyway, the next day arrives and the couples have to head to a compatibility challenge where production fakes them out by saying they're going to get splattered with some nasty stuff, but then out pop some blindfolds and headphones because they're actually going to be doing the kissing challenge, which happens every season, where here they're going to be blindly ranking each person's kissing ability to see if there's any hidden chemistry with someone else. But the twist this time is that the singles are going to play as well. So everyone makes out, Bree and Damari have an intense revenge kiss that leaves Bree going, and Nick announces that all the matched couples gave each other 10s for their kisses. Well,
Each couple gave each other a 10.
Duh. Are you stalking?
Except...
alright, I already know who he's going to say. There is only one man who could fumble this one. You don't even need to say his name, Nick.
Except Jimmy P.
Knew it.
Yeah, Jimmy gave a higher score to Kayla. And okay, the final twist for this challenge is that the 3 singles that received the highest scores overall, they're gonna get to join the villa and pick someone for a date. And surprise, surprise, those 3 singles happen to be Weston, Hashim, and Kayla. And Marissa is not pleased to see Kayla join and go after her man. So naturally, Hashim invites Allie on his date, Weston invites Marissa, and Kayla invites Damari. And the dates go pretty well. I mean, Allie thinks Hashim is hot, and also he went to Princeton. Score.
You got your master's, right?
Instructional technology.
In sexual technology?
Instructional.
Then production is setting up Damari for maximum drama with Kayla by giving them a date and throwing in some oysters. 'Cause, you know...
Oysters are an aphrodisiac.
Now, Damari does have a really nice date with Kayla, so when he comes back, he says...
We're gonna have some more conversations, just discuss more of like something outside of just... It was really good. It was really good.
Okay. Which really pisses off Marissa, because why would he need more conversations? Is he actually considering matching with Kayla? And that energy bleeds into their next sit down together, where Damari is now going...
I just saw you.
Whatever.
You just started...
You're right,
You
I'm
just started
defensive.
nagging
Go
at
ahead,
me
I'm not gonna say
immediately.
shit. I'm gonna let you do all this speaking.
And so, once more, they argue, with Damari saying he made that conversations comment because he needed to know how Marissa's date went with the man she made out with before he made his decision, and when she asks him if there is anything between him and Kayla, and then she interrupts him as he starts to talk, Damari looks absolutely done.
I paused. You saw that. I said one word and I paused. Go. Stop. I said one word, babe. I said one word and I stopped myself. That's like progress for real.
That is not progress.
That is actually progress.
So yeah, these two go back and forth all night, leaving Weston and Kayla thinking, what the hell is happening? Are they even going to talk to us at all? I mean, maybe we should match, cause we're kind of vibing right now, connecting on the fact that we're both here sitting doing nothing, waiting for our dates to even look our way at least once. And frankly, this seems a lot more fun than what's going on over there, cause they just keep looking over and seeing those two arguing again, going...
I just need you to not to be upset. I know that sounds shitty, I know that sounds weird, I know it sounds selfish, whatever. I just don't need you to be upset.
That has to sound wild in your head. It doesn't?
Well, I process things differently, so probably not. It doesn't sound weird to me.
Now, while that's happening, Allie is quite distraught, because she doesn't know what to do. She's on the fence, Hashim or Jimmy. I mean, she's been with Jimmy this whole time, but his wishy-washy attitude hasn't helped, and she doesn't really feel like he's pursuing her. It kind of feels like they've plateaued. And as the night goes on, it gets so difficult for her, she feels like she's ready to head home herself.
So I just can't make a decision, honestly, and I should just go home myself. And then you guys can match.
Nah, definitely not messing with Jimmy.
Now, Jimmy then comes forward and finally starts to explain himself, but just when you think he might try to lock things down, something goes wrong.
But I would just be lying if I didn't tell you that it hurts, that it's not a no-brainer. I mean, you know how I feel about it.
I'm so sorry, but I'm really awkward in serious situations. Sorry.
That's really rude.
Yeah, this really pisses Jimmy off, and the moment gets ruined. But Dave is also cracking up, and Sophie realizes she just has the most fun with Dave, so screw Chris's finances, she's matching with Dave once more. Now, some of the other easy matches are Allison and Jimmy too, who laid boundaries before that singles day, as well as Yaman and Natalie, who didn't lay boundaries, but were pleased to find out that they both acted as if they had. Oh, and Kayla and Weston actually do match, because after hours of being neglected, they essentially say that their previous dates blew it. Even if they did want to match at this point, it's not happening, leaving us with 2 more matches to be decided. Now, Allie here comes over to Jimmy and wraps herself around him, and I honestly thought at this point, if he had just said, Allie, I want to commit, and he seriously laid it out, she probably would have matched with him. But then Hashim comes in and is like, okay, some sort of decision needs to be made. And so Allie goes, okay, Jimmy, I'll talk to you again after I talk to Hashim, but Jimmy goes, no. And he makes this bold move.
It's not fair for me. So, I'll make the decision for you and just leave the house. Bye. Best of luck for you.
Best of luck.
Reverse psychology is an awesome tool. I don't know if you guys know about it, but basically,
You make someone think the opposite of what you believe.
Alright, I do not know what this move was. Like, was he trying to get her to run after him and tell him, no, don't go, Jimmy? Cause if so, he fumbled things again. Cause once he starts heading toward that exit, it just cuts back to Allie and Hashim kissing. She just kind of shrugs it off and says, okay, great. And Hashim goes, not gonna lie, that was some toxic shit. Then as for Damari and Marissa, well, I don't even know if you can call this a fumble, maybe a relationship fumble. Either way, it's a whole lot of mess in the red zone, as Damari declares it was messed up that he didn't even get to talk to Kayla that night, while Marissa disagrees, saying, shouldn't I be the priority? And Damari, he says, you are, but arguing for 2 hours? 2 hours? That's not the way it should be, so Marissa goes,
call it.
I do not have to do nothing.
Call it.
That's what you want?
Just call it.
But at this point, what else is there to do? There's no Weston, no Kayla to match with, so these two have one of the most depressing matches I've ever seen. I mean, they just look defeated. Okay, but you know what? I spoke too soon. There actually is one other thing they can do. And as Marissa's doubts start taking over, that thing is this.
I'll just leave tomorrow.
So watch this whole thing burn.
Oof, and with the previews showing Damari sitting down with Bree for the finale, Marissa might actually mean it. Well everyone, this is it. The Perfect Match Season 4 finale has arrived, and it's time to decide which of these amazing couples are the perfect match.
I'm sorry, I can't even say that with a straight face.
Yeah, I think this show should just be called Match. Find the match. Like, which one of these couples will actually be a match and last more than a week after filming? But before we get into this very awkward finale, we gotta get into where things last left off, as some of the season's longest lasting couples are in complete disarray. For example, Jimmy and Allie, they're broken up. He left after Allie was wishy-washy on whether or not she was gonna pick him or Hashim, which was only the case because Jimmy was wishy-washy on locking things down with Allie earlier on in the season. And yes, this is Jimmy, you look like Megan Fox Presnell from Love is Blind, but he's been processed through the influencer machine. Then there's Marissa here, also from Love is Blind, who, along with her match Damari, have spent approximately 92.4% of their time on this show arguing, and now Marissa has threatened to leave and not look back. That is, until the next morning arrives, and now she's going,
I'm kidding. Kidding. Totally kidding.
And you hold me accountable and you challenge me in a way that a lot of people in the outside world haven't.
I don't think that 1 or 2 disagreements can make me stop caring about somebody.
Okay, but to be fair, it's actually been like 7 or 8 disagreements. Now, of course, in the lead up to the finale, there are going to be a couple of more twists introduced. And it all starts with the last compatibility challenge of the season. A 50-50 challenge where you have to do a bunch of tasks, but each partner has to complete 50% of that task, no more, no less. For example, stacking these things, or taking turns eating strange stuff like bugs or warm buns. And shockingly, new couples like Kayla and Weston or Allie and Hashim struggle and are left behind, while it's Dave and Sophie rising to the occasion and winning the first compatibility challenge not won by Marissa and Damari. And this gives them the power of the final boardroom, as Nick Lachey offers up 3 singles, 2 of whom Dave and Sophie will pick to come back into the house and immediately head on a date with a person of their choosing. And for this boardroom, they get to choose between Bree, Damari's ex, Chris, Kayla's sort of ex, and hey, look who's back!
Jimbo, what up, baby? I'm not leaving.
So these two start strategizing, because this final decision could really impact how the votes go for the perfect match winner. Like they first lock in Jimbo, cause what's the harm? Either he comes back for Allie and she rejects him, or Allie takes him back and her 1-day-old relationship with Hashim is ruined? Plus, it's kinda chaotic, so Dave's on board with that. Then Sophie moves on to Chris, because again, what's the harm? He comes in and matches with Kayla. They've barely been together, no one's gonna vote for them. However, Dave is wanting more chaos, so he's looking at Bree and going,
yes to Bree.
Here's my issue with Bree.
Bree has issues, we know, with Dee and Marissa, but we're here to play a game, and I'm more here to
Now, Sophie worries that picking Bree might anger some people in the villa, and that will lose them perfect match votes. But Dave, he's just here for the laughs, so...
I'm yes to Bray, and you're no to Bray. Rock, paper, scissors.
So eventually a decision is made, and Dave and Sophie return to the villa to announce who's coming into the house. First up is Jimmy, who has to immediately make his pick. Does he want to return to Allie? Was he too hurt from the other night, or...
Jimmy, quit playing and pick Allie.
So yeah, he picks Allie, saying he would be robbing himself if he didn't pick her and see what the dynamic is like now. And then in comes the next single, Bree. I guess Dave won the rock, paper, scissors.
Yay.
So Bree ends up choosing to go on a date with Damari, and Damari agrees, saying that they still need to finish a conversation, and yeah, this was the right move for Bree. Maximize your time here. You're not doing much trying for some new relationship with just a day left. Make a splash, get your TV time, and get out. Now the one kicker here is the kiss that these two shared during the kissing challenge with all the singles. The one that left Bree going... cause that messed Bree up a bit, so all of a sudden, she's coming into this date going...
I didn't really feel good about how we left off. I do want to apologize.
They then talk some things out, like Bree accused Damari of cheating when she went on some podcast, and he says it genuinely never happened. And then they both share that they love each other, but I don't know. For Damari, I think he's saying it more like, I still have love for you, while Bree's sort of saying it like, I still love you.
This is the last night, too.
Okay,
so
make it count.
What's that mean?
Whatever you want it to.
Now moving over to Jimbo, he's out here telling Allie that they had something real and he's sorry for how things ended, but he only did that stuff cause she seemed to be leaning the other way but didn't have the heart to tell him. And, of course, he now wants to close things off and be with her. Oh, and he also asks if her and Hashim have kissed, and she goes, yes, we have kissed, Jimmy. And for a moment, it seems like Allie's saying, sorry, Jimmy, too little too late. But then they get in the shower together, and I mean, who can resist a shower with Jimbo? So...
sometimes you have to let things go to find clarity.
So now the dates come back to the villa, and it's announced that Allie and Damari have to make their decision right away. No waiting. Pick either your current match or their date, and whoever is not picked is going home. Now, of course, Damari matches with Marissa, saying his date with Bree just helped bring them closure. But then it cuts to Allie, and she goes,
Jimmy.
Leaving Hashim shaking his head like...
What the hell just happened?
Hashim, thank you so much. You can head on out. I have to ask you to leave the house now.
So there you have it. Jimbo is back in the finale. And all that's left to do at this point is gather everyone from the cast to decide who's going to win the coveted all-expenses-paid vacation for winning the perfect match. And it's here where things get really awkward for a few couples. Like first, they talk to Kayla and Weston, as everyone gets a chance to plead their case on why they think they should win. But Kayla says, well, for us, we probably shouldn't.
My boobs are fake, but I'm not. Who I think I should be sitting here with today is Chris.
So Kayla goes over and sits next to her man Chris, and they're all happy and talking about going on dates together outside of the show, but then Mackenzie pipes in going...
It's crazy for you to say that you got a connection in such a short amount of time because you guys were messaging outside of this.
Oh.
And you know Kayla is so guilty because right away her response is...
Okay, I can't text somebody? Not outside of the show and then say that you built a connection on 2 days.
I can text whoever the I want.
Then Mackenzie starts going into more details, saying, well, you used an iPad that production gave to you, and you got around the whole not being able to text thing, cause Allison told you about using Spotify instead. At which point, production brings out the receipts.
Me and Kayla were trying to stay up.
Have you guys been like texting?
They keep the phones separate
Well, when
times.
you have
Wait, when did you come
Spotify.
So now everyone is pissed cause they're going, oh, that's why we all got our iPad Spotify Spotify privileges taken away. But then there's more. As Catherine here comes out saying, oh, you think that's bad? I've been told that Kayla has been in an exclusive relationship with someone this whole time.
I have a mutual friend with Kayla who that mutual friend told my best friends who told me that she's exclusively seeing one of her friends' guys' best friends.
Okay, not gonna lie, that took me a minute to process. Like, oh yeah, Kayla? Well, the friend of my friend's mail carrier's accountant told me that their second cousin's dentist did a root canal for the uncle of a guy who does the dog sitting for the best friend of a guy who's apparently been exclusively dating Kayla.
That was a lot.
I do not have a boyfriend. Allison!
Meanwhile, Kayla, she denies all of it, and she turns to her bestie Allison saying, come on, back me up on this one.
She definitely doesn't have a boyfriend, you guys.
Yeah, that was one of the least convincing things I've ever heard. Now, after this, they then move on to Jimmy 2 and Allison, who talk about wanting a relationship outside of the show, and Catherine does grill Jimmy on taking her on that date, while he had already pinky promised Allison that they were going to stay together. But then we come to Allie and Jimbo, where these two talk about being tested and coming through a lot, while Cassie is still mad at Jimmy because she thinks he also took her on a date while knowing he was going to still pick Allie.
If I knew my answer, I would have came back to Allie and said, hey, I'll be right back with you, shorty. I'm gonna go figure out this.
Shorty, she's taller than you, bro.
Now, Damari does come in to defend Jimmy, saying he actually respects how much they've had to go through. Like, he would have crashed out if he had been in Jimmy's shoes. And he, like many others there, didn't think the relationship was real, but hey, they proved him wrong. But then things get super, super awkward as Hashim interjects to say he's really surprised about how things went down with him and Allie because of, well, how things went down with him and Allie.
Just bro code. I don't want to say like anything like that, but just like...
Oh no, this is not going to be good, Jimbo. Just close your eyes and ears and hum until the finale's over.
Me and Allie were like physically intimate.
She told me y'all kissed, so...
Was it more?
Oh, this is uncomfortable.
You guys just need to have a conversation.
So everyone is shocked, aghast, and Jimbo looks crushed, destroyed, trying to hold it together while turning to Allie and whispering, you told me all y'all did was kiss. And then they show the footage. Oh, good lord, they show the footage of it going down.
Just a little more. It's really quick.
I mean, the second-hand embarrassment, the awkwardness that shot up my body all through this was surreal. Meanwhile, Allie is turning to Jimmy like,
we were on a break!
Literally 10 seconds. It's literally 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was like 10 seconds, Jimmy. 10 seconds. But hey, you know what? For Jimmy, that's like the full experience.
I wouldn't be showing my stamina off because it's been some time.
Yeah. A little dusty.
Chill out. I don't need practice, but can't promise it'll be the longest thing in the world.
So this finale has taken a turn, and Nick Lachey tries to right the ship by going,
Jimmy, Allie?
Huh?
You guys good?
Oh, yeah.
But Jimbo does not look good. Still, we move on to the other couples, who all get to make their case. Damari and Marissa say they've been tested and gone through a lot, while Yaman and Natalie say they've developed romantic feelings from a friendship, but others question if they've really been tested like the others have. And when all the votes are counted, the winners of Perfect Match Season 4 are...
Dave and Sophie!
So, cool! The couple that just laughed a bunch and only met with a few days left after she called him a red flag are the winners.
And he definitely looks like a red flag, but he's the greenest flag of them all.
By the way, since filming ended, every single couple from this season has broken up. Well, except for Jimmy and Allison, who are apparently still figuring things out. So much for the perfect match.